Africa TV Freak Up Studio Live. 2022 GSL Season 1 Code S.
Sometimes I hunt for the storm just to weather it.
GSL Code S is back. We continue on in the round of 20. It's been a great season to start things off, but we don't have any Protoss survivors just yet.
Yeah, you just said that, Tasteless. It has been a great season to start things off. No, it's becoming a problem, and if we don't get Trap through tonight, yeah, that would be a huge issue. But I think he is definitely favored to get out tonight.
If Trap doesn't get out here, we need to sound the alarms.
Yeah.
We need to get the balance patch horns out.
Yeah.
And rally the troops. Because we're going to be in Warcraft 2 territory. It's going to be orcs versus humans if we get that.
Yeah, yeah. It could end up looking pretty ugly at that point. I'm really hoping that he does make it because I would like the round of 10 to have 3 races in it. But I guess we'll see. It is a very interesting group tonight. I'm particularly excited about GuMiho, you know, the based Gumi God. See what
Absolutely,
kind of
man.
shape he's in right now.
I think it's always great when we have any of these players that have done their military service and come back. And GuMiho's approach to Terran isn't in line with anybody else who plays Terran in the whole world. He's got a very abstract way of approaching it. A lot of kind of mobile mech plays. Now, I know that it's been years since then, and we are in a different meta and a different iteration of the game. So let's see what he's got to bring here today.
Yeah, that should be exciting. Solar has been playing better and better lately, so I think he's probably the other favorite alongside Trap. But we'll see. I think that there's a lot of possible upsets here. Even Creator's been playing quite well lately.
Yeah, and Creator, of course, you know, we talk about this almost every season, but a guy who's really poured his heart and soul into the game, and he's gotten far along in, you know, a season or two here, but overall, you know, he kind of is consistently in the bottom half of the players.
Yeah.
And so I've always got my fingers crossed for him, and, you know, every season is a new start, so let's see how he performs here today. And as you said, Artosis, I think correctly, Solar has been steadily improving. Still very hungry for a GSL championship here, so let's see what he's got.
Yeah. By the way, I think it's super cool that GuMiho went to the military, came out, and he's still been in more Codesses than Trap. With 23, this guy was one of the originals.
Well, GuMiho, yeah, he was like in every single season for a couple of years.
Yeah. And, I mean, he's from Season 1, so there you have it.
One of the OGs.
Yeah. So yeah, here's Trap's little thing. You can see he has one. He has a little thing there, Tasteless.
He's got
some stuff going on.
Bunny slope syndrome over here.
Yeah, you win some super tournaments, but hasn't gotten that GSL Code S victory yet. Coming a little Sue-ish, in fact, with 3 second places.
Yeah, I mean, Super Tournament is a different tournament. It's got a different tempo to it. And of course, GuMiho, you know, as of the last few years, we haven't seen him, or I guess last 2 years, we haven't really had him in a GSL. So we really don't know where he's at exactly. And he's really the dark horse right now, not just of this group, but of, I think, this entire set of players, because he could easily be top 4 if he's playing out of his mind like he had in the past, or he might just be, you know, not up to date with the times. One thing about when you are doing your military service out here is you're not able to make money doing things that is not the military service. It kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a pro. I think if you're any guy. So we don't see him like streaming or going to, you know, these invitationals. You know, obviously they can't compete in GSL. So we just don't have a very good idea of where his, you know, GSL performance would be at. And that's why the few games we have of GuMiho here are going to be a real test. And I think this is a really good group for him in the sense that we have every range of player here in this group.
Yeah, and he'll be able to show us quite a bit. Excited to see what that is going to be exactly. I think, you know, historically I've always liked his TVZ quite a bit, but his TVP has had ups and downs. I think sometimes he's very smart about it, but I guess let's just see what type of style he's going to bring here against Trap today, who is the best Protoss.
All right, guys, our best of 3 is ready. Trap vs. GuMiho starts now on Hardwire.
2022 GSL Season 1. Quantum Freak, Trap. Storm Gaming, GuMiho.
Okay, so immediately a barracks, not that close to Trap, and not so close to GuMiho's main that we'd call it a Makarax. So let's see what he wants to do with this.
Yeah, double gas, so definitely will be going into factory. Trap, scouting around a little bit. I don't know if he'll check behind the rocks on that side, though. It's kind of a funny location, right? Like, even a Reaper is not going to get across super fast.
Yeah, I feel like this might be the least obvious place to have your probe glide through.
Yeah.
You know, looking for a proxy. So definitely this is built so that it can't be found, which can force a little bit of extra scouting on Trap side of the map. But he's not going to have a very good idea of what's going on just yet.
Yeah, he's checking to see if there is a barracks in the main base, checking every single edge. Sees that, in fact, there is not, and does start that Zealot. Throws down a second pylon as well at the natural after the Cybernetics core. So Trap is playing very carefully here.
Yeah, and that factory starting over here at the entry point, as you can see. So we've had some builds where Terran will make like the barracks, the factory, and a starport out in the middle of the map. This is not going to be one of them. And it looks like this is more to try to get Trap in a very defensive position without the Terran having to commit much of anything. It's basically just a very, very well hidden barracks that could make you uncomfortable.
We'll see if he goes much further with that.
Well, he's making
Marauder.
a tech lab here. Yeah, that's a more of a commitment than I was thinking he was going to do. And he's going to go for concussive shells. So this is one of these openings where you basically want to get the first few concussive shots to connect, and then gun down that unit since it can't retreat to safety. And the idea is to basically drag them into a loss.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly. But it's not the closest travel distance, and the Marauder isn't the fastest unit, so it's not going to get there as quickly. You know, we talked about how the factory was back at home, but you could see he's been making, or he did make a Hellion, I believe. That can meet up with that Marauder pretty quickly to put pressure on with this rush.
Yeah, and with that starport coming up, definitely going to grab a medevac to help out. It's an interesting little push that we're going to have coming up here. Blink is on the way, so if this push doesn't do anything, Trap's build is like going to really roll through GuMiho. I think you absolutely have to get something done here. Otherwise, you're playing against someone with twice as many bases and Blink.
Did you see that?
He
saw the Marauder, but I don't know that it registered with him.
I don't think he actually saw it. Yeah,
the Zealot saw it. He didn't.
Because you have to go shield battery immediately. Okay, well, he does make a shield battery, so I mean, there's a possibility, I guess.
That's cute. So the medevac comes out and just scoops them right up over the top. And, I mean, let's see how much damage this does. I do want to point out, GuMiho really needs this to work, because otherwise Trap's going to develop much more quickly here because he's invested in expanding and teching.
Okay, gonna go ahead and drop the 3 Marauders out. And the slowing is occurring. Picks up some more units here as well. Just kind of going for it right now. That shield battery quite far away. Oh my god, is he going to zap that Stalker? Oh, he gets it as well before it can get back to his shield battery. Now there is an overcharge here, so oh my god, Tasteless. This is like doing so well for GuMiho right now.
There's so many low HP units that are just being juggled repeatedly, just like that. Trap is doing his best to fight back, but I'm worried that this damage is just starting to compound here.
He's having a hard time even connecting his shots. Runs out of energy. Of course, the overcharge was already used. So it's going from bad to worse right now.
Yeah, more Hellions are going to come up here. There's still plenty of energy inside the medevacs to heal up these Marauders. And, I mean, I think if the last Stalker goes down, it's basically easy to kite from here on out, especially with concussive available and with things clumping up on those Hellions. GG. Gumi God is back.
I guess so.
Get your Gumi Bears out.
Yeah. Very cheesy right there. But
that was cheesy. Maybe we call him a Gumi Worm then.
Oh.
So he's a Gumi Snake. Nice cheese. You know, it's kind of in line with GuMiho's really innovative way of playing the game.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
Very technical rush.
Yeah, and one that, again, I have not casted.
Yeah.
So that's cool. That's very cool. And look, it took down Trap, and if it can take down Trap, it can take down any Protoss there is.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it worked out really well, but, you know, when you're doing that kind of like one base all-in-ish type of play, you'll pick up some wins, and sometimes it won't go as well for you. So let's see what he's going to have set here for Berlingrad on game number 2.
Yeah. Okay. Berlingrad it is. Right now, GuMiho with a 1-0 lead versus Trap. Let's see what Trap's got. Maybe GuMiho, another cool rush? I don't know. Let's find out.
2022 GSL Season 1. Guangdong Freaks, Trap. Storm Gaming, GuMiho.
Well, Barracks in the main base. GuMiho's going to go easy on him this time. Feeling bad for Trap.
He's really dialing it back here, making his buildings where he started out on the map. I was really impressed with that rush, and I don't think that Trap had any idea that might have been one of the things coming for him.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
I mean, there's a big range of what could occur on one base, and the thing is, a lot of times there will even just be a command center behind, right? And you can't really figure it out as Protoss. You know, you have these adepts and they can't get up, so you're like, all right, well, I see that you have 2 Hellions and a Reaper at least. It's something, I guess.
Yeah, like we've seen the concussive shell rush proxy racks before, but it's usually considerably closer, I want to point out. And it usually starts a little bit sooner. It starts, I think, with 2 Marauders.
And normally you go like straight in.
Yeah.
And just micro against them, and then like shield batteries, probes, pulling stalkers back works a lot better.
And it's a bit of a tug of war, the fight. You know, it can go either way. But what GuMiho did was a delayed rush where he just waited for a medevac, put the barracks far back enough that it just was never going to be scouted. So I think Trap had kind of thrown that out as a possibility. And then showed up with enough Hellions and enough Marauders that he was basically able to drag Trap, out of that game within about a minute.
Yeah. You know, where he dropped them in the main base as well, it was just far away from any shield batteries or anything, so it just became very, very difficult to play against. I mean, it was a very well-planned rush. Now, we have a Stargate coming up here for Trap. GuMiho, you know, he's hiding what he's doing. Command center being made in that main. So it has to be a little bit stressful here. See that? Trap like checking the side of his base. He's like, oh, are you floating in like a factory or something? He's just trying to not die.
Yeah, he wants to get to like a third base and start to develop and try to play, you know, probably a pretty defensive game here. But GuMiho has really changed his approach in this game. And, you know, I think it's worth saying a couple times in today's cast that GuMiho plays Terran, or played, I should say, Terran, in a way that was very different for other players to deal with. And there was, that was so good by Trap. He played Terran in a way that was so different that it wasn't really even like any other player. And it gave him a lot of success because you really had to almost be ready to play against a 4th race or something like that. Like, he really just treated Terran so differently, treated the tech so differently, and had huge success with it. Uh-oh. Wait, what?
Ooh, the Hellions running in as the Adepts shade by.
Well,
a little bit unfortunate, but I mean, the Oracle. Oh, yeah, that's okay.
Fine.
That one's slow enough.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we think, Tasteless.
Yeah.
But did you know that a car can't be caught by little tiny robots?
The problem is that flamethrower, it only works when the car stops. So
oh my!
Okay, now this is getting a little bit crazy because the Adepts are here, and there's not that much over here to defend. Looks like he's going to dive on the SCVs.
Okay, well, he's definitely getting more damage done than those 2 Hellions. I believe only 1 probe ended up getting killed. And that was very micro-heavy.
And it looks like Trap wants to basically leverage the chaos that happened just moments ago and try to spring an attack here, getting that proxy pylon down here. Having the 2 oracles come up, this is very cool.
Yeah, but okay, he actually did see that 3rd command center, so that is a lot of information there. Now, I think this is going to be like heavy harassment. I bet you that Trap goes Nexus behind this. I think that would probably be the best play here, because even if you kill, yeah, there's the Nexus. Even if you kill a decent amount of workers, GuMiho can actually remake them. When you get 3 command center this fast, it's, you know, it's always surprising how quickly you're going to be able to, you know, get your economy back up to snuff.
There is no bunker here. And so, I mean, this is going to be a tremendous amount of damage inbound right now. He's going to go right for that tank, get the Cyclone.
Oh, bad micro on the tank.
Mean, yeah, this is pretty crazy because there's nothing here to attack other than a Marine coming out of a barracks. And I mean, this is quite a lot of worker kills. I kind of wish we had that tab up on screen.
Well, it's not worker kills yet. Like, he's killed. Yeah, it was
only. Oh, I guess you're right. I'm sorry. I kind of assumed that workers were actually dying off. And
he lost like every army unit.
Yeah.
And then the workers started to die there.
Yeah, but I just sort of decided that was happening, even though it's right in front of my face. But, you know, this small number of Marines, this is going to be tough. And a lot of these SCVs are very low. They're easily sniped down.
Yeah. A little bit greedy not having a bunker here right now, unfortunately, for GuMiho. But Trap is getting good damage now. Trap up 50 workers to 37. My God, quite the difference. More Stalkers coming up. All right, nice lock on there. Secures a kill. Push these Stalkers back a bit as well.
You know,
another kill there.
GuMiho's really doing a pretty damn good job. I thought this was going to be a little bit better for Trap than it is.
Well, Trap is addicted to losing Stalkers to the Cyclone.
He's addicted to it,
It's giving him little dopamine hits. He's like, yes, Protoss is the worst race. Yes. And it's like, so Trap, funny. Dude, you can really make it out of this group. In fact, I bet you can top 4, bro. Just like, let's stop giving him Stalkers, okay?
Yeah, it seems like that little setup, you know, it did some damage, but you got to know when to stop, right? Apparently, he doesn't want to stop, though, because he's going to make a gateway over here.
Look at this. He's already damaged Marines coming up with their stim.
Yeah, and Medevacless set of Marines just YOLOing onto those Stalkers.
That's some vanilla StarCraft 1 Marines right there.
Yeah, yeah. It's like back when we weren't sure if stim was good. It's like, I don't know, man. I mean, you kill stuff
but it takes
fast.
all that health. Like.
Yeah, and then they never get it back. So, I mean, is it really worth it? Can't you run away? It's crazy to think there was ever an iteration of StarCraft without something to heal the Marine.
I know, yeah.
When you look at the game now, it's like, what?
That was a weird time, man.
Now, Trap is on 3 bases. GuMiho is still developing on the 2 that he has. He does have a 3rd command center, and I think that's going to be landed now. It was supposed to be landed much longer ago, but it became such an action-packed game.
And don't forget, like 2 seconds ago, I was saying the worker count was like 37 SCVs against Trap's like 58 probes. But look now, 65 to 55, not too bad. GuMiho does come back up pretty quickly here. He's going to have a lot of mules as well. But these Stalkers coming up, and GuMiho has nothing right here.
Yeah, but GuMiho's so far into the Protoss territory, he's just going to commit with an attack anyways. Do we have a recall that's going to be inbound here? A lot of probes are going to be killed off.
Yeah, definitely a bit of an issue. That command center did make it out, by the way, up at the north there for GuMiho. More Stalkers coming up to fight against GuMiho's army. He does split it off into 2 chunks. This chunk, very likely to just die. Yeah, he blinks forward. He will deal with that. Where is the other one?
I think he somehow misclicked it because it should have been in there a little bit sooner. Now, in the blind spot in the main, he can stim and he can attack in from here.
Seems like he let it heal for a moment there. Stims, runs in. And there's that recall that we were waiting for. But as it gets recalled there, maybe he can do some more harassment at the 3rd. Seems like it was maybe even a little bit too much of a recall.
So, I mean, this has been kind of a crazy game here. I mean, both sides really ready to take stabs at each other any moment they think there's an opportunity. But GuMiho's got his 3rd base up. He's going to now have a little bit more push potential. It's mass Stalkers with some sentries to try to dice up the positions of the units. Is GuMiho going to commit here? I'm not so sure it's a wise decision.
Yeah, I don't think so. Not with that army, not when it's tagged especially. Charge is about to finish. We're going to have +1 armor to go with that +1 attack. Of course, GuMiho already on 1-1, getting his armory. So going to continue forward with that. Oh, nice snipe on that Oracle. That's a really nice pick off.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He just comes right in here. But a pretty chaotic fight over at the natural, and it does seem like there shouldn't be quite enough for Protoss to actually hold that fight. But he does drive him back.
Ooh. Hey, actually, yeah, not too bad getting some connections there. There are some Zealots trying to harass, and they get 5 SCVs, actually. Really not bad from Trap. That was a nice counter-harassment.
Yeah, with minimal effort, too. Psystorm's inbound, which is going to make these clumps of infantry a lot weaker, and it's going to be a lot harder to actually do any kind of engage in these moments.
Yeah. And honestly, it's something we talk about sometimes. I think Trap has some of the best Psystorm timing of any Protoss, if not the best. So that could be a great moment for him as Psystorm finishes up. I'm not sure if he actually has High Templars, though. It's been such a chaotic game that he might just now be warping in the first few. Yeah, he's going to make an Archon even. So can't really wait for that. Going to try to push this advantage. But GuMiho actually has a lot of supply, and if there's no splash, I think he actually just holds this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, there are a couple High Templars here. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, and now I don't think that GuMiho can actually recover his position. A few more storms come down.
Yeah, it's not that big an army.
Yeah, I guess it is a bit thinned out here.
Yeah, the charge lot's coming in, though. Oh, it's like really close. We're right on the edge, but it looks like GuMiho will push it back, losing 16 SCVs.
Super close fight. Both the Archons had no more shields left. All the medevacs had no energy. So, like, that was kind of crazy. But I think that was another overextension there for Trap. I think the Trap is almost too hungry to find an opportunity where maybe delaying some of these moves would help a little bit, because that overextension has caused a huge supply deficit in the army here. It's 84 supply for the army to the 45 for Protoss. And, you got to be careful, man, because when Terran starts to win just a little bit, that, damage spike can come up here. Both these guys microing insanely here, but I just don't see enough. And it looks like Trap is out. GG. GuMiho. I'm trying to think of the greatest gummy animal there is. What is it? What is the...
I'm trying to think what there even is for
How
gummy
big do
animals.
they
There's
make?
worms, there's bears. That's it. There's gummy worms and there's gummy bears. There's no other gummy animals. If there are, they're just like, like, oh, look at me, I'm a company that caters to, very weird gummy lovers. I don't know what to call gummy enthusiasts.
The largest gummy candy weighs 1,212 kilograms and was achieved in Iran in January 27th, 2022. All right, that's what he did. He's that.
He's that.
He's the
He's
Iranian
that gummy
gummy.
candy.
Yes, he's that. Guys, we'll be right back. Creator Solar coming up next.